Hi, everyone. I wanted to show you how easy it is to create a Teams meeting that you can share with your students or parents. So you can see here, I have what is wonderfully an empty line of my calendar, which is next week, Christmas. So let's say that we wanted to schedule a group present opening with maybe a whole bunch of family members. Basically, anybody that doesn't necessarily have a Foothill School Division account. That is really easy to do. So let's say, for example, I wanted to open up at 10 a.m. On Christmas Day, and I wanted to just create a Teams meeting that obviously not my students in this case, but maybe some family members I would bring along. But if you did this on a school day, obviously you could include your students in this. So first thing you want to do is, as always, is give it a meeting name. And in order for this to create an actual Teams meeting, you do have to add a required attendee. You have to have just one. If you have any more than that is fine, but you do have to have just one. Now, the problem, of course, is that we're going to be creating a Teams meeting for people that don't belong to our Teams set. For example, students or parents, or in this case, family members. So the way I do that is I just add myself. And that's all you have to do. Nobody will get an actual invite, but it will actually create the Teams meeting for me. And that's it. I can just push send, and that meeting now exists. Now, if I just want to have a meeting with people on Teams, as you guys know, you just invite the people you want to meet with, and then they can just go ahead and push the join link. However, because we're meeting with folks that aren't on here and that haven't been invited, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to edit, and I am going to just copy this stuff. I could just take the Meet link, but it's good to have the whole information. Just it makes things a bit easier for those participating. So I can go ahead and right-click copy. In this case, though, because I have a browser open, I am going to just take the copy link here. All right, so I can close this. And now, whenever it's time for me to start the meeting, I can just click here and click join. And of course, you guys are familiar with the screen of your average video conferencing tool. And when I click join now, the meeting starts. It's important to note that your kids by default will not be able to join this meeting until you have started the meeting. All right, so I have that meeting link in my clipboard. So I am actually going to just open up a web browser here. I'm in a guest meeting just because I don't want this to link to my actual account. I want this to be as students would see it. And so I'm going to paste that link, big, long, ugly thing, into my web browser. And I could obviously put that into my Google Classroom or Moodle as a link for kids to go to. I'll press go, and it will immediately try to, because I have Teams installed on this computer, it will try to open Teams. However, if I don't have Teams, or if I'm on a Chromebook, that's just fine. I just have to go continue in this browser. And that's probably the most likely thing the kids will do. They have to push allow like they do with anything on Google. They do have to punch in their name. And once they hit join, it will let me know as the host that they're waiting in the waiting room. So you can see on my window that there is somebody waiting in the lobby. And so I can either just push view lobby where I can see everybody that's in the lobby, or I could have just said let this person in. When I'm looking at the whole lobby though, I can just go ahead and hit the checkbox. And as soon as I do, there we go. And now I'm going to hang this up because nobody likes an echo. Now, that is by default as simple as it is. That Meet link, by the way, can work forever. If as long as it's used once within every 2 months, you guys will have the ability to reuse that same link over and over again. It doesn't matter if it's not exactly this time. But if you want to change something about the link, some of the settings, you do need to go back into the appointment. So let's say you're hosting a parent night. Now, with a parent night, you probably don't want to have people waiting in the waiting room. You just want them to come straight in. With kids, you want to make sure there's a waiting room. With adults, you can probably get away without that. So you can go ahead and change that by just clicking on meeting options right here. And as soon as you do, it will open up a browser window. If you're already signed into your account, which most of you will be, it'll take you straight to your account, or in my case, it's just going to ask me to sign in because I was using a guest window. There we go. And once I'm signed in, it will give me some choices. And by default, who can bypass the lobby? Well, I said that people in my organization. However, what I would like to do is say that I want everybody to be let in. And as soon as I do that, when a person clicks that link from anywhere, they won't have to request access. They'll just appear immediately. You can also set things on here. For example, do you want it to announce when somebody joins? Do you want other people other than yourself to be able to present? Obviously, you can choose that. And will I allow attendees to unmute? By default, yes. But if you've got a really large group and you just want to present, then maybe you don't want them to be able to unmute. And so you just change that to no. And that's it. Once you hit save, those settings are permanent on that meeting. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. Do give me a shout if you have any questions, and I would be happy to help.